Hi, thanks again for joining me for another motivational moment with Doug Miller. I'm Doug Miller and I want to talk to you today about your why. So I like to work out at a gym that, at this particular gym, it has a sign that says, if it matters to you, you'll find a way. If it doesn't, you'll find an excuse. I love that saying because it often reminds me of why I do the things that I do. And if you understand what your why is, then you do find a way. And a good thing to try to keep in mind when you're thinking of your why is it that you do the things that you do, is if it matters enough to you, you're often willing to make the sacrifices it takes to do it. Just think for a moment of me taking this pen and jamming it through my hand. That would cause a lot of physical pain and discomfort. We can also think of emotional pain and discomfort that we often face in our lives. And I'll use this metaphor with clients sometimes where I'll say, what if I had to take this pen and jam it through your hand? Would you let me do it? And they often say no. But then I say, okay, what if I had to take this pen and jam it through your hand, or your closest loved one would die? Immediately people say, bring it on. Because we know that their loved one matters to them. We know that if people can identify what matters to them most, they're willing to make the sacrifices it takes to live their life consistently with that. And that's what I mean when I think of how can you identify what your why is? And is your why meaningful enough that you're willing to say, bring it on? I can experience the emotional discomfort, maybe even the physical discomfort that moves my life in a direction that's consistent with what matters to me most. So my question for you today is, do you know what your why is? And when you know what your why is, then you'll always find a way. Thanks for joining me today on A Motivational Moment with Doug Miller.